Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this on-demand demo of Leadsius Marketing Automation. My name is Chris Lawrence, and I'm currently the marketing manager here at Leadsius. Before we get started, I just want to give you a brief introduction to who we are. As most of you may know, we are a Swedish-based marketing automation platform. We are the world's first truly free marketing automation platform, and as you may also know by now, we're tailored towards SMBs. Some of the clients we keep are in a variety of have a variety of backgrounds coming from both B2B and B2C clients such as Saab, Oreo. We have clients in the education sector such as IHM Business School and much more. First and foremost, I'd like to say that if you haven't already, please check out our compare page on leadsius.com. This could help give you a good idea of whether you're comparing us to other marketing automation solutions or you're coming from an email marketing tool that could help out. Also, we have getting started videos at support.leadsius.com. Going into this demo, we're going to just give you today a brief overview, kind of like a flyby of Leadsius. So let's just dive right into it. On the home screen, when you get started with Leadsius, you're going to see this taskbar, this toolbar. You can see here, this is just to help guide you through the steps of getting your account functional. First and foremost, you're going to have to install a tracking code on your website. That's going to enable the cookie-based tracking. If you'd like to learn more about that, again, we have videos on that, so I won't go too deep into it here. But tracking is a very important component. It's what's going to let you get to know your leads, get to meet your leads, and help you with nurturing them in the future. This isn't a testing account, so you're not going to see the colorful graphs going here, but this is our inbound dashboard as part of your marketing dashboard here. You're going to just see once you get our web forms on your website, how things are converting and how your website's doing, and you can break that down by date range as well. Below, you're going to see a more overall view of how your emails, landing pages, web forms, and even your website page views, how they're performing over time. And at the bottom, you're even going to see your most active contacts and be able to drill into them. So for example, if I click on my name here, I can get an idea of what Chris has been up to, what pages he's visited, and that kind of thing. In Leadsius, you can see here we jump to manage our contacts. Now, obviously, one of the first things you're going to want to do is bring your contacts into our system. You may be starting fresh, which is fine, but if you do have contacts, you're going to go here and import them. Once you have them in or imported into your system, lists are what allow you to start doing mailing. So this is one of the things that most companies want to get active with right away is creating some lists. That could be both a dynamic list. So a dynamic list, a good example would be someone creates a newsletter web form and you put it on your website and you want every time someone submits my stay in touch with my newsletter form, I want them to automatically be dropped into this bucket. So here you would define the action, which would be in this case, submitted web form. We define which web form. And when we hit save, now this is a smart list, so it's going to automatically add these people based upon the criteria I defined. Your other option is to create a static list. So here you could define criteria such as I want all the people whose favorite color is red, or if that's a question maybe you created as a custom field, or I want only people from this region. So you get the drift. Moving on though to our media section, just want to let you know that when you get started with Leadsius, we do not limit by file size the amount of images or PDF documents or ebooks or different things you want to start using or sharing. So go ahead and feel free to just upload as much as you like here. Moving on to our publish section, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of creating. So if I go on emails here, and I click a copy of my first email, or actually no, we'll click add new. We have two types of editors in Leadsius. We have a drag and drop editor and an HTML editor, which have their strong suits. So an HTML editor might be great if you're looking to do a plain text email outreach, something very personal, coming, hey, my name's Chris, just wanted to know if you were interested in this or that. That might be more suited towards the HTML editor. Our drag and drop editor is great for campaigns, newsletters, or notification of events, things that are more visual. So if I just put in testing my first email here and click create, it's going to give us two template options. And to be honest, we feel that you don't need more than this. I've seen tools that have a slew and a huge template library, but take it from experience, you're going to find some designs you like to work with, and you're going to just create based off of that. So my suggestion is always to just open an email, get started with it, play around. It's very simplistic. Double click, Drop in your logos, you can make the buttons do different things, such as fluid on mobile here. If you have this on like it's set, then basically what that means is that this button is going to expand from left to right, and it's going to make it easier for people to convert on regardless of the screen size. You can easily delete blocks if you don't want them, so like this right here, just click and delete. And you can save and get started with your email. The name you give it also, that's just going to be stored here inside. It's just more or less for filing purposes. Now, if I go back to the email screen, I can see all my emails that I've created over time here, and I can see whether they were built with the drag and drop editor or HTML. So let's say this testing my first email, I came up with a really great design and it's worked great. It's my monthly newsletter. So now it's next month. I need to create a new newsletter. I'm just going to click here on the right and I'm going to click duplicate. And this is going to create an exact copy of that email. And I can just open it up, rename it, and there I go. I have my email created for my next newsletter. You can save your emails as templates in this section here, but the bulk of where you're going to want to work out with your emails is email programs. Now, this is the section that I want you to think of as anytime you do a launch. So this is where you're going to come. You're going to click Add New. You're going to give your program a name. So I'll call this My First Newsletter, for example, and we'll hit Save. Now, what it's going to ask you here is, okay, which email do you want to send, which you'll have previously saved? Who do you want it to come from? Your from addresses you can define in settings under email addresses, and there's no limit as to how many addresses you can have. So you might want to have team@mycompany.com, or you're going to have some employee emails for different things. So just go ahead and create as many as you need. 2, this is going to be the list. So we talked about the list that you'd created before. Have a list that you're going to email to, and the reply email. Maybe this is coming back to a no reply address in some cases if it's a newsletter, or maybe you like to have them come to an address of a staff member or your team at company email. You'll give it a subject line and you'll define whether it's to launch immediately or you can select a date. Now this is your first step. So once you're done with this, you'd hit Save Task, and then you can see here if opened or if not opened. So here you can layer in some rules. So for example, a newsletter, you might want to do if not opened, 5 days later, resend this newsletter, and let's put an alternate subject line in. That could be just a simple tactic to boost open rates. So again, we have a video on this section more in depth as we do for all sections, but this is where you're going to come to launch all your email programs. Now moving on to our web form builder, one of the main benefits with a marketing automation platform is that you're getting all these builders in one tool: your email marketing, your web forms for your website or landing pages, your landing pages themselves, and your workflows along with your analytics. But let's just take a quick look at how you create a web form in Leadsius. It's very simple, drag and drop. So we'll call this maybe my newsletter form. And I'm going to take first name and email. Maybe that's all I want. Of course, you can add more here. You see this favorite color. Now, this isn't by default in our platform. This is a custom field created under settings. So your company may have different types of interests or things you need to capture over time, and that you can segment off of later. For those who don't know what segmenting means, basically this means if I start asking this question over time, I'm going to be building up data on my leads based upon what their favorite color is, or even my clients. So I might want to target them and provide more context by using segmentation. So for example, I have a great campaign and I want this to go out only to the people whose favorite color is red. That could be an example that you could start doing. But again, going back to the web form, you can customize the design, put in your button text. You can adjust the CSS or JavaScript to really make it look and feel like your website if you're putting it on your website, for example. You have your settings here where you can define an alert message such as "Thanks for submitting. You're now subscribed." That could be one example. You could also redirect them to a landing page if you're going to use this as some kind of thank you page and maybe layer in another offer, etc. Or you could drive them somewhere else on a website. You also have your submitter and admin email. I won't go too in depth, but basically submitter email is going to kick to whoever submitted this web form right away. So, hey, thanks, here's a copy of your guide. Did you know we offer this, this, and this? That's what you could do here. Admin email is used to update anyone internally. So you have sales staff, or maybe you have a certain web form that's like a download this really heavy white paper, and you know that the people who are downloading this are more or less qualified leads. So maybe you want to notify sales right away so they can follow up on that opportunity while it's hot. This is where you do that. You put in the email, the subject, and then you click add fields here and put response to make sure that the sales team or whoever you're notifying sees the response. We also offer double opt-in. If that's required by law in your country, you can do so by activating your double opt-in. Landing pages, pretty straightforward. This is our landing page builder. It's HTML based. You can drop in your images, embed web forms directly to a landing page. I won't go too in depth here. You can save your landing pages as templates. I could just maybe give you a quick preview of one. This one isn't the best design. We'd have to work on it more, but again, you can just get the general gist of things. Now, it's important to note that this says app.leadsius.com. So if you have a free account currently, then you're going to see this as your URL. But if you have a premium account, you're going to be able to build a custom URL under your settings. So this could say, for example, content.mybusinessname.com. Moving on to our workflows, this is more or less why you're here, probably to learn how to really leverage marketing automation and start to nurture your leads and to the point of sale as well as beyond. If I give my workflow a quick name, I'm just going to name this my first workflow. You could define a start date, so when your workflow will go active. And you can also define an end date if you need it to be inactivated or killed at a certain point, but we'll just leave it open-ended if you want this to go on over time. So you're going to start by defining a trigger, and I'll leave these up on the screen. And if you get started with a Leadsius account, you'll see submit web form, but you won't see these, such as if they opened an email, I want to do something. If they have a certain number of website page views, I want to do something. Or if they were added to a list or viewed a specific page, not clicked an email. So you get the gist. We have a lot of different types of activities, and we're always adding new ones. If you have any suggestions on one that you would like to see, go ahead and write us at support.leadsius.com. We're always up for suggestions. You can also define your segments here to drill even closer. So like I said before, maybe you want to do by favorite colors. So there's a first action, and then you want to drill even further only to the people whose favorite color was red. When you click save and add task, this is going to look just like when you launch an email program. Okay, I want to send an email based off that and start to initiate conversation with these people. Your analytics section, if you go to publish here, you're going to get a view of how your emails are performing over time, your landing page views, the web form submissions, everything like that. You can also get a web report, which is an anonymous by IP web report. So some companies are very interested in seeing, for example, maybe Ford Motor Company has been visiting my website. I don't know who they are yet, but I can tell they've been visiting. So maybe you can start leveraging some account-based marketing to drive in leads from these places or even similar industries. Under your settings, again, this is where you're going to grab your tracker script, where you're going to build your emails, you're going to build your custom fields. Our API is open to all premium clients. So for example, if you're using our WordPress plugin, which here's an example of a dummy website with our WordPress plugin activated on it. So if I click on software, I can see I have different widgets that drive me to pages with different web forms and things. That is available by searching Leadsius for WordPress. So you can see here's our offer page. And again, this is available to our premium clients as of right now, but it really helps you reduce time to market and makes it really easy to get your website brought to life with marketing automation. But thank you for watching this video. Again, you've probably visited our pricing page and you've taken a look at our capabilities. You're going to get to realize that our strong point really is our freemium model first and foremost, but also our pricing. When you compare us to competitors, if you compare us to the likes of the HubSpots and our Marketos, we certainly would lose when it comes to a feature battle. But in our opinions, we focus on the features and the capabilities that small to medium businesses are going to rely on most. So it's with these platforms, the way it works is there's something for everyone. So if Leadsius you think might be for you and you'd like to learn more, you can reach out to us by emailing support.leadsius.com at any time. And again, please check out our compare page on leadsius.com. And we also have our getting started videos that you could view at support.leadsius.com. Thank you for watching, and we hope to hear from you.